Good afternoon, everyone. So, in anticipation of 1.5 coming out hopefully on Tuesday for PlayStation 4, I wanted to make a quick update build video, talk a little bit about myself and my channel, and I'll go over what I'm using, my thoughts on what I'm using, and really how to get a really high DPS or high damage output Predator build. So, first thing, I wanted to talk a little bit about myself. I never professed to be a great gamer or great at this game or the best at anything. Recently I've had some stream sniping, which I don't know if that means that I've officially made it as a YouTuber or what, but I don't respond to negative comments or rude comments to try to get me to engage someone. I'm an average gamer. I like to play this game. I'm not very good at it. My aim is, as a running joke, is pretty bad, although I'm working on getting better, tweaking some things to make my aim better. But in general, I think that I've got builds figured out pretty well. 1.4 added a lot of dynamics, having 3 stats on each item, and took a little while to figure out. So I'll go over my build real quick. Right now I'm running as my primary an MP5 ST. Base damage is 17.3 thousand. Now I'm going to show you why it's that high. I'm getting a lot of questions about that, but the basic answer is reckless chest piece. So I'm an MP5 ST. I've got vicious, deadly, responsive, and I've got several others that have really great stats as well. I don't know if I have them on me or not, but there you go. Deadly, ferocious, destructive, deadly, vicious, predatory. I've got lots of really great guns. I've been lucky in that respect. So the way I've modded my MP5 ST, in my opinion, suppressors are almost mandatory for the 4th stat of having reduced threat. NPCs quite often just ignore me even when I'm standing right next to them. Crit chance, headshot damage, and crit damage. This is almost maxed out. If headshot damage was 6%, it would be maxed out. The trifecta, what I call it, really the 3 stats you want on a suppressor for an SMG, because they're already stable, they're already accurate. You need to be up close and personal. Grip, absolutely crit damage as your primary stat. The secondaries, I wouldn't mind having crit chance on here, but reload speed and stability, almost as good. Crit chance would be a little, or I don't think you can get crit chance on a grip actually, so this is about the best you're going to do. Magazines, absolutely 100%. I agree with Marco Styles. Magazine size with crit chance and rate of fire is a must-have. Scope, again, crit chance, crit damage, headshot damage, the trifecta. It's almost maxed out as well. And go up to my LVOAC. Now here's where I differed a little bit with Marco's opinion, although I am trying his suggestion out. I tried it out last night and it wasn't bad. It does inflate your DPS quite a bit. The one I'm using right now has responsive, deadly, and brutal. Used to be considered the god roll, still kind of is right now in 1.4, but that's not to say you couldn't replace responsive with vicious, for example. I've got several other LVOACs and lightweight M4s and police M4s with similar stats or different stats. Now, here's where I question Marco. I've tried his suggestion out. Normally, I suggest to have crit chance or crit damage as your primary stat with headshot damage and crit chance on your suppressor. So normally, I would run with one like that. Now, even though it lowers my DPS overall, you all know DPS is a broken stat. But in my opinion, it's a lot easier to make center of mass body shots consistently than it is to focus fire headshots with a controller on the PlayStation 4. Marco's making videos for PC players, even if he doesn't realize it, because he's a PC player. I am trying this out, but I don't necessarily agree with what he's saying. You have to decide for yourself what you think is best. Scope, same thing. He suggests headshot damage with crit chance and crit damage. I kind of disagree again for the same reasons. Normally I would run with something like that where it's a higher crit chance with crit damage and headshot damage. Still the same 3 stats, still the trifecta. But again, focus firing on headshots is really difficult with a controller. I think with the amount of kick that an LVOAC or assault rifles have in 1.4. Totally up to you. You can do whatever you want, but as you can see, it would lower my DPS overall by reducing headshot. Headshot damage increases DPS significantly. Grip, stability is a must. These things kick like a mule. Crit damage and reload speed is great. Stability is a must. And again, the magazine with magazine size, crit damage or crit chance, and rate of fire. Really important. So we'll go over my gear now. I'll quickly show you why my damage is 18.9. My other ones are a little higher. There's one with 19.1. And here's why. I'm running a Reckless chest piece, pretty high armor. Roll for firearms, ammo capacity is a must. Armor on my mods, obviously. Stamina, firearms, doesn't matter. You still want to spec everything into armor. Chest, knees, holster, and backpack. You really need to roll armor on it. But watch what happens when I put on a Vigorous chest piece. Okay? My base damage goes down almost a couple thousand. So that's why people are asking me, how do I get my base damage so high? That's exactly how. Go down to my mask. Mask is still optional with what your major attribute is. I would actually prefer to have crit chance, but health on kill isn't bad. One thing you absolutely do want, if you can get it, is enemy armor damage. Enemy armor damage is going to apply on 1.5 to PvP as well. So destructive and enemy armor damage is something you're going to start wanting to think about stacking. Knee pads, again, rolled with armor. The minor stats doesn't really matter. I'm finding burn resistance to be really good. I've got 42 or 43% burn resistance, which is really helping me out in the dark zone against NPCs. Holster, armor again. I'm running Seeker Mines and First Aid Self-Heal. Sorry, I should have showed you that. Firearm stat with armor and Seeker Mine damage. I'm running Seeker Mines because it applies bleed. Now my gloves, most people want their main weapon with crit chance and crit damage, and I do agree. However, this is also another way I've increased my base damage by having weapon damage of both my types of weapons along with crit chance. Totally up to you, you know. You see if I switch to a pair of gloves with crit chance and crit damage, that my DPS on my SMG goes up, but then my assault rifle damage will go down. Backpack, I'm running a specialized backpack, again rolled with armor, burn resistance, and I have a stamina mod with armor and 2 Seeker Mine damage. My talents, if you're running Predator's Mark, you absolutely want Shrapnel. Shrapnel applies bleed to 30% chance to all targets, and that includes players anytime Seeker Mines hit them. I like to run critical save so I take a lot less damage. I don't use a lot of cover, so I like to face tank quite a bit. Now, if you're struggling to control your LVOAC or your assault rifles, put on steady hands. 25%, I did a video about this earlier, but 25% reduced recoil for 10 seconds applies whether you're staying in cover or not. All you have to do is bounce off of cover, and if you have 13.5% on your grip for stability on the LVOAC like I do, well, now you're at 38.5% stability. This allows you to have a lot of stability without running 2 striker pieces, and frees you up to use Savage Gloves or a Tenacious Mask or a Reckless chest piece or whatever you might want. So that's an option. Precision, I like to get pulse. Even if you inadvertently make a headshot, it works. And then absolutely must have is on the move. always on the move, killing enemies, so it only makes sense. Anyway, that's the build as I have it set up right now. I'll go through my character real quick. Firearms is pretty high, but not ridiculously high, 5460. My weapon damage is really good. This is my MP5, so my crit chance is 32%, headshot damage is 101, or excuse me, crit damage is 101, headshot damage is 61. Go down to my toughness. Now my toughness is a little low, and I would switch this out if I was running solo. If I really need to be tanky, I'll put on a vigorous chest piece instead of my reckless. I'll give up a bit of damage to be a little tougher. But my armor is sitting right around 59%, 59.58. It's pretty high. I haven't seen too many people have much higher than that. As long as you're somewhere above 55, I think you're doing well. The closer you get to 60, obviously, the better. Anyway, that's the quick build video. Obviously my build's going to completely change. Hopefully on Tuesday when 1.5 drops, I'll start farming for new gear. I'll be looking for Barrett's chest piece and Pharaoh's mask and all the rest. And I'll start playing around with it. So, I hope that helped. Have a great day and I'll see you in the DZ.